Welcome back. Let's see. Video number 2. So we just learned a D chord, right? Let's practice that a little bit more because I didn't like how much we practiced. I think we should do a little bit more. Okay, ready? Here we go. So. Right? Very good. Okay, now we're going to learn a G chord. You may find this harder, you may find this easier than the D chord. Depends on your hand, but like I said, it's going to get a lot more comfortable. So, G chord, let's look at our chart. It looks like we want our second finger on the second fret of the first string. That's the string. Oh, shoot! Oh! Hold on. I just realized I numbered these wrong. So I need some white out. I need some white out, please. I'm gonna have to start this video over. I don't know, it's kind of funny. Is this white out? Yes, I found some white out. Alright. Crisis averted. Whiting it out. See, remember in the first video when I said, oh, I get confused with this too. I've been playing for 10 years, and I just got confused with how the strings are numbered. Because it just feels like the one closest to you should be number 1. I don't know. Guess I'm just sentimental that way. Alright, so I take it back. I think I did it right in the last video. I'm going to have to check that. But for now, let's make our G chord. Alright, slight detour. So we want our second finger on the second fret of the first string. Okay? Then, I like to take my first finger and put it on the second fret of the third string. Now here's the tricky part. Here's the reach. Third finger, third fret, second string. Should look like that. You feel me? Now the trick to playing the perfect G chord is making sure that your fingers are not flat. You don't want them flat like this. You want them curled up. Alright? No flat. You want them curled up. And the reason for that is when they're curled up, it allows the other strings that are underneath to ring. If your fingers are flat, it's going to sound like this. It's going to sound muted, okay? So you want them to be curled is the word, okay? Let's try to play a G chord. And if it sounds weird, you are not alone. Every single student I've ever had who played a G chord for the first time, it sounded really weird. So don't worry. If it sounds like me, then you're a prodigy. You are the next Grace Vander Wood. Grace Vanderwood? Grace Vanderhosen. Grace Vander Wood, I believe is her name. The kid that's young and she plays the ukulele real good. Alright, do the next that. Okay, let's play the G chord. Here we go. G, 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 G. Yeah, playing a G chord. Yeah, we're playing it real good. We're playing a G chord. We're playing a G chord. That's how you have to end all songs, ever. My nose is runny. I need a tissue. There's no tissues in here. That's alright. That's alright, I'll get one later. Okay, so, at the bottom of page 3, it says, a little song. And this is just a couple chords that I randomly mixed together to create a nice little exercise that we can do. Alright, and this is going to be dealing with chord changes, the bane of all ukulele players. It's really tricky and really hard at first, but the more you practice, you're going to get really, really good at it. It's going to get really comfortable. I mean, you played guitar before. I'm sure you know that changing chords is kind of a pain, but I'm sure you've done it before, so I bet you'll be really good at this. Okay. So, my little song here doesn't say how many strums each chord is going to get. Okay? We're going to start with 8, and then we're going to change it to 4 later, but that's for later. Okay? So, 8 strums. So that means we're playing the G 8 times. We're playing the C 8 times. D, you guessed it, 8 times. Alright? So, let's start with the G. Okay? We're going to play this 8 times. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright? Now we're changing to the C chord. Alright, and if you need to look at the chord chart, that's fine. Look at my hand, do whatever you need to do. Alright, ready? C chord, you ready? C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, here's a hard one. D chord. Alright, got it? Got it, ready? We're gonna play a D chord, and D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to change back to the G, alright? A little tricky. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, now down to the second line. We got a C chord. Ah, my favorite chord, super easy. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And then back to the D. A little tricky. Got it? Get it? Get it? Then D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're switching back to the G. And it says G twice, so that means there's going to be 16 in total. Okay? G chord. Ready? Ready? G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Beautiful job. Alright, so switching chords has a shortcut. Alright. There's a shortcut between every chord combination. And what I mean by that is, if I'm playing a D, if I have my D chord, right? I got my D chord. See it? And I'm about to switch to a G, and I'm like, oh geez, how am I gonna get there? Instead of taking my hand completely off the neck and then building the G chord, which is totally normal and good in the beginning, alright? What I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that, hey, the third finger, look at the chart. Look at the charts. My third finger is staying on the second string. It just moves up 1 fret, that's all. So when I go from a D to a G, I can just take that third finger and slide it up, right? And then my other 2 fingers can get to where they need to be. Hey, when they're on a D, they're on the 2nd fret. And when it's a G, they're also on the 2nd fret. They just need to move which string they're at. Alright, I hope that makes any sense. I think it'll make sense to you. So, I'll say it again. So I got my D chord, right? Instead of taking my hand off completely and building a G, right? Which is fine. Got my D chord. What? Check this out. Slow motion. Ready? Slow-mo. Third finger. Sliding up. Ready? These 2 fingers. They used to be here. Now they're going to be here. And now I have G chord. Right? See what I'm saying? So I shouldn't have said there's a shortcut between every chord combination, because it's not every single chord, but most chord combinations there's some kind of shortcut, and you can find them on your own without even thinking about it, without even noticing it. By practicing these chord changes, your hand is going to do it by itself. And then one day, I didn't even realize that I was doing that until I started teaching. I didn't know that I did that. Because it's totally natural. Because the more you practice, your hand is going to find a shortcut to get to where it needs to be. Because changing to the next chord is hard. So let's do our little song again. Let's do it again. Here we go. So it starts on the G. Ready? Here we go. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now up to C. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now down to D. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to G. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to go down to the second line where it says C. So C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then down to D. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good job, kiddo. All right, that ends video number 2. In video number 3, we'll talk about strumming.